Blessings. So, a man's worth is measured by how he parents his children, what he keeps from them, what he gives them, the lesson he teaches them, and the lessons he allows them to learn on their own. Happy Father's Day. There's a big difference between a father and a sperm donor. And I hope you will all understand. There is a big difference between a father and a sperm donor. For me, to describe a sperm donor, it would be one who has impregnated a lady or ladies and then turned his back on his children. And one who neglects, a person who neglects his responsibilities, a person who cares less about the lives of his children, a person who fails to do his manly duties, a person who fails to grow his children in the way they should grow, a person who fails to correct his children, fails to maintain discipline, a person who fails to provide for his children, a failure in all areas, fails to defend his children, fails to correct his children, fails to allow his children to eat and go without food. That person is a sperm donor. On the other hand, a father maintains his fatherly duties. He does what he is supposed to do. He provides for his children and family. He corrects his children. He teaches them right from wrong. He maintains discipline. He gives of his last and goes without to ensure his children have. He goes out and he works to ensure that his children will have food to eat. He stands in harm's way to protect his children. He trained his children. He trains his children in the way they should grow. He never neglects his responsibilities. He doesn't run away from his fatherly duties. He's a role model to his children, a positive role model, that is. So, it's not like he donates sperm and then disappears. No. He's there throughout, thick and thin. That's a father. So, there are differences between a father and a sperm donor. And when I opened not too long ago, I told you that a father teaches his children lessons that they ought to learn, and he allows them to learn lessons on their own. So a father stands up to his responsibility, and there are some good fathers out there, despite what we have heard, despite what we have been told, despite some that we have seen. There are indeed positive males out there that are doing what they are supposed to do to ensure that their children are okay financially, educationally, psychologically, emotionally. They will do whatever it takes to ensure that their children are okay once it's the right thing to do. Once it's the right thing to do. And very often people forget about those fathers. And sometimes we hear everybody is being classed as one. Every man workless, every man a dog, every man are the same thing. That is not true. Because there are fathers who have sacrificed their last. I know about fathers who have sold their cars to send their children to school. I know fathers who have taken loans to send their children to school. Fathers who have sold a house to send their children to school. Father who started investing in their children the moment they were born. Fathers who started to save money for their education a few years down the line. Fathers who there are fathers now who takes the time out to take the children to clinic, to doctor. And most times nobody speaks about them. It's like they don't exist. Most people just normally speak about the deadbeat dads. So today we want you to focus on the fathers that have been doing their best, that have been doing the positive regardless. Not often people talk about them. So today is their day. Fathers who prepare their children's meal. Fathers who go out in the wild to get the food for the children. Fathers who wash their children's clothes, clean the children after mess. Cleanse the children after mess. Iron the children's clothes. Take them to school. Ensure the children, the younger babies now, ensure that they are always in clean clothes, dry clean clothes, doing what some mothers fail to do, because there are some mothers who have disappeared out of their children's life, just as we have some fathers who have done so. You have many fathers who have never taken the mother to court, like how mothers have taken fathers to court. Deadbeat dads, not fathers. Deadbeat dads. So you have many fathers who, despite knowing that they could use the law to pull them in, they just continue to do what they are supposed to do. What is expected of them. Fathers who discipline their children as how they are to be disciplined. Fathers who will not spoil the rod and spare the child. Father who goes beyond, above and beyond. Well, how would you say you go above and beyond the call of duty? Because if you're a father, that's expected of you, to do what's necessary to ensure your children are safe, your children have food to eat even when you don't have it. You brought them into the world, and you are responsible. You are responsible to maintain discipline. You are responsible to keep them safe. You are responsible to provide for them. You are responsible for their mental health as much as possible. You are responsible for their physical health, their emotional health. You are responsible to guide them, to train them up so they should grow to be positive role models to society. You have a responsibility. You have a responsibility. So I would say go beyond the call of duty, because that's within the call of duty. You have fathers who are farmers, and regardless of the little they have on the farm, they have been doing their best. They have managed to send their children to college, to university, without the help of some moms. Yes. So it's not only about mothers. You do have positive fathers who are looking out for their children. You have fathers who are fishermen, that even when the sea is rough, they are out there looking the bread for their children. You have some fathers who do better parenting than mothers. You have some fathers who would not dare to tell their children curse words, to use curse words to their children, to discipline them. So, fathers are the backbone. The backbone. And the Bible said, as Christ is the head of the church, so the husband must be the head of the family. So you have fathers, you have husbands who are fathers, who are doing exactly what was commanded of them, to maintain discipline, to be the breadwinner. We need to appreciate those fathers. So instead of bashing all fathers, I think people need to take time out to highlight the good ones, even if you need to bash the bad ones. Because there are good fathers out there. They are good fathers out there. There are good fathers out there. My cousin, I remember he gave his son a car. His son wanted to become a doctor. And the son asked him for the car several times, and he told him no. And he continued to ask his dad for the car. And his father finally decided to give him the car. And when he gave him the car, the son sold it. And at first it was heart-wrenching. But after, when he found out the purpose why the car was sold, he said, well, I can't kill him. He sold the car to pay school fee. So you have fathers who have been preparing for their children's future, and most of them have not been highlighted. And you have fathers who have things, assets put down for their children, who have made a house for their children, who have been putting down money for their children. Yes, you do have those. How often are they being highlighted? The Bible speaks about a good father in the sense where the Bible says, if your son asks of bread, who do you give him stone? Said, none of you as a good father would see your son ask of bread and give him stone. And it goes on to say, if your earthly father knows how to give good gifts, how much is the Father in heaven? So God knows the difference between a father and a deadbeat dad, a sperm donor. Because it said, if your father, so there's a difference. A father makes all the difference. A father makes all the difference. If your earthly father knows how to give good gifts, how about your Father which is in heaven? Because your earthly father would not see you ask for bread and give you a stone. So God spoke about the good fathers. When the Bible speaks about a man will not spoil a man's house unless he knows that the strong man is not at home, you can make reference to fathers who do their due diligence, fathers who spend time with the family, to develop the family, to grow with the family, to bond with the family. Those are the good men. So fathers are still critical in today's world as they were back then. You know, some mothers managed to tough it out without the so-called father, the deadbeat dad or dads. Fathers are still relevant. So Father's Day is still keeping in my book. It's still keeping. I like the positive fathers. Let them feel let them feel as if, let them know they are doing good. Let them know they are appreciated. And what I learn about children is that you can't fool a child, regardless of what some mothers may say to the child, your father workless, your father this, your father that. The child normally analyze the situation for his or herself. So you say the daddy no do nothing. The child will not take onto that until a few years later, when the child has become a teenager or an adult and can make the comparison between a father and a deadbeat dad. So I'm saying this to say that Many times, some mothers try to tell the children that them daddy no good and daddy workless and everything. But the child sees a father regardless of what you say. The child, if you're the one who goes to the child's house, the child sees where you hand over money to the mother. The child sees where you buy. The child sees where you buy snacks and take it for them, for him or her. The child sees where you take them out whenever you have the time. You take them to spend time with you. The child knows you're a person who calls to speak with them, to check on them. Then, regardless of what the mother says, the child will see you as a father. So if you have been doing all of that, don't worry. The child will see you as a father. And this is the reason many children tend to cry to go with their dad or their daddies when they see them pull up at the gate, because they know what they have been seeing. So regardless of what the mother might say to the child will not fall for what the mother told them at that tender age. So if you fail to do your duties when the child has become a teenager or an adult and can compare and contrast, then you're in jeopardy. You're in dead trouble. Because at that time, the child is able to compare and contrast. The child knows what a good father will do, what a good father will not do, how a good father operates, from how a good father will not operate. So the mother will not need to say anything to the child. The child will see you as a deadbeat dad if you fail to do what you ought to do. Then, so in closing, I implore those who have failed to do their fatherly duties to get it right. And for those who have been doing their fatherly duties, continue to be the positive role models that you are. Continue to train your children in the way they should grow. Continue to do your due diligence. Continue to be positive role models. You are appreciated. Happy Father's Day.